Stairs rips one into the night, deep into right.
Moves to the right, it goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it, and the pass goes into the end zone.
To Nick
It's a touchdown by Nick.
He scores! Keith Trino is able to win it, and the Flyers win the touchdown.
Can he get it off? Yes! And the Sixers win it!
What is going on, everybody? As we have been really advertising, this is our big Podcasting with the Purpose event over here at the Old Philadelphia Bar in Fishtown. Let's give a big round of applause for the Old Philadelphia Bar in Fishtown here.
Yeah, the old Philly.
Oh, yeah. For everybody here, we've got 50% off all draft beers going on the entire time that we're going to be going. And that's going to be going till at least 5 p.m.
50 cents off drafts. I might start drinking drafts.
There you go. Might have to start switching that. Get out of
Do
the...
you think they'll fill my bucket up just with draft beer?
Yeah, just pour it right in the old bucket.
The old straw.
Exactly. the old draft straw. But as usual, I have Frankie James to my right here. Frankie, tell the folks how you're doing.
Oh, man, we have been working on this event for, what, a month and a half, 2 months now?
Yeah. Once what's his name? Eric? Jason?
Eric.
There's a couple of different partners here.
Capicola, as I call him.
Once the owner gets over here, we're going to be having him on to give that whole story of how this all came into fruition. It's a fun story. A lot of great laughs, a lot of great cries. It ended up with the Phillies' loss, something that they've been pretty used to this season.
I had an asthma attack.
You did. You did. We got club seats in a box at the Phillies game, and you
they're
had
asking
to
about the pillow. They're already asking about the pillow.
Uh-oh, we got the pillow talk here.
Oh man!
Now we're going to be going to pillow talk with Talkin' 215. We have
with our masseuse.
Exactly, with Rick relaxation Rick.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's it. Relaxation.
What? No. Anyway,
we'll
get into the pillow, but yeah, we got all you can eat, all you can drink box seats, which ended up with you being carted off on a stretcher because you had an asthma attack. I'm like, dude, we got these hundreds of dollars worth of tickets, and you just got to go and be selfish and go not breathe.
Well, I couldn't breathe, but I'll tell you one thing that's not being selfish.
Move.
Our crew right here that's getting ready to talk to those fine ladies because they look like they want some raffles.
Exactly.
So let's get over there, gents.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, ladies, how we doing? Check out some of the prizes. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. We have some wonderful things here. We've got a bunch of different jerseys. For anybody that likes to golf, that anybody knows anybody that likes to golf, we've got some golf gift cards. We have a round of golf with Mr. Mayor himself.
Oh, the old mayor's here.
Oh, yeah. We've got a nice
Nutter?
Yankee candle basket.
Is Mayor Nutter?
No, not quite yet.
Okay.
But for anybody that wants to know, you can buy an arm's length of tickets for $20, 2 arms for $30, and you can put those tickets into any of the bucket that you would like. You can mix it. You can put it all into one. You can put assortment into a bunch of different buckets. But yeah, a lot of great prizes here. Yankee candle basket, a custom sign made by.
I want that Yankee candle basket.
No kidding. Yeah, some large candles. Those puppies go for you at least 15, 20 a piece. Those size candles.
Oh, 30. 30 shekels a candle.
$150 value. And you got all sorts. We got Flyers tickets. We got Phantoms tickets. We got incredible jerseys and autographed Jeff Carter.
Autographed Jeff Carter.
The retro
with the
Forrest
puck. I'm actually raffling myself off.
There you go.
One night with me, Frankie James. Not sure if that's going to have any hits, but I am raffling myself off as well.
There you go.
I don't think we
have a Hertz jersey. We've got a wonderful monkey's uncle. Is that it? We have a wonderful Monkey's Uncle gift basket full of some incredible Delco wrapping paper, coffee cups, all sorts of different things. For anybody that doesn't know, Monkey's Uncle has some retro fan fashion favorites. Definitely want to be getting in on that. Everybody knows that the best Eagles jerseys were those Kelly Greens. You got to love those old powder blues and the old maroon Phillies. Some great stuff. You got to be sure to head on over to Monkey's Uncle for all of your great retro fan fashion favorites.
Oh, yeah. We have door prizes. We have all types of things. I might throw a prize out there. Let's see. The first person that buys a raffle, I might have a prize for you. Whoa, hold on a second.
There it is.
Prize? I know a Flyers fan. What do we have for you?
Yeah, puck.
Oh, we have wait.
Yeah, right in the bag there.
The old bags. You hold on a second. We might have a little stuff before. Hold on. There we go. The Flyers. The first person that bought a raffle. There we go.
A game
puck.
The old game used.
I might have shot with that bad boy.
Oh yeah, it's a game used Flyers puck used in a Flyers game. Oh yeah, game used puck.
18 years of hockey right here.
Oh yeah, so as it goes, you can. There you go.
Absolutely,
In a minute, you got to hop on in and talk some sports.
We're talking some sports.
We got the White Glove guest seat here, so in a minute we're gonna be open. Perfect.
You could talk some
Perfect,
sports.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Ladies, as those raffles work, you can put the tickets in any bucket, any basket you'd like. And if you know that you won't be here for the drawing, just take a picture of your tickets and you can send them to our company email, and we'll be sure to contact you if you're the winner.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be doing live drawings on our social media here so that you can be sure to be able to follow that and see if you won.
So, speaking of all that, everybody looks like they're having a good time. I'll tell you one thing that's a good time and a crazy time. We have to dive into it. A little bit about the Philadelphia Phillies.
No kidding. I know I've got a great take I have been dying to share with this.
Oh, you've been
Tell me this. This year's Philadelphia Phillies, does it not feel like, let's say, the 2010 Philadelphia Flyers? Doesn't it? It kind of has that feel. My dad brought this to my attention. Think about it. That season, during the regular season, the Flyers, they have stretches where you're like, holy cow, cup bound. Then they have stretches where you're like, wow, they cannot beat the worst team in the league. And you have no idea. At that last game when it was the win and in against the Rangers.
Oh, the old Boucher dance.
Tell me that a lot of people weren't saying, you know what? I kind of want them to lose. I want this heartbreak season to be over.
Oh, yeah.
And then they won, and you're like, okay, cool. But you got Michael Leighton and Brian Boucher as the netminders.
The old duo goaltending.
In the Stanley Cup final playoffs. And so you're like, okay, great. Woohoo. We're going to get swept in 4. Maybe we'll make it a series with 5. And then what was it? Lightning in a bottle? Holy cow. If they went on to win that cup, we always
bring up 2010. And it makes me, I'll say this. If the Phillies don't make the playoffs with how well they played, it will go back to when the Flyers.
How well they played.
Well, the Phillies played pretty well in stretches. And it brings me my point. When the Flyers won 13 games in a row and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, no kidding. And
that was towards the end of, look at this. Everybody's looking like they're having a good time.
Oh,
all types of goodies in there, guys. Get in there.
Oh, yeah. So everybody that's going in the raffles, if you know that you won't be here for the drawing at the end of the night, be sure to follow on the social media, and nobody's listening, so I'm just going to get right back to sports. I'll tell you what. But
breaking news, Beth Ann is 8 minutes away.
Ooh, get ready for some raffle bonanza. But
Phillies.
But yes, Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to get back to that take. We've got Chris over here counting the shekels. We got Sam on the cam. Sam Cam.
We'll give us, there we go.
Anyway, back
shout out.
with that take. Philadelphia Flyers 2010. You almost wanted them to not make the playoffs that year because it was such a disappointing year. They had so many injuries. You didn't think they'd be able to do anything. They were able to catch lightning in a bottle, make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, nearly force a Game 7. If it wasn't for that Patrick Kane heartbreak.
Why did you have to go there?
Had to.
Well,
oh, my goodness. The worst. By far the worst Stanley Cup winning goal ever.
It was probably one of the most unfortunate goals. I was just having this conversation yesterday.
Oh, you like that Hurts jersey? That's an authentic Hurts jersey.
Yes, it is. It's authentic.
Oh yeah, it's a sweet all black Hurts jersey. If you peel off the duct tape, you may see Wentz under there, but don't mind that. You actually might sprain both of your ankles by doing that.
If you're doing money, just think of this.
So yeah. So anyway, that season. Now you're looking at the Phillies.
I just get really excited because did you see Gibson crack a home run last night?
Oh my gosh!
What was the
pitchers you can rate?
I had to look that up. I need some insight. The last pitcher
was it old Joe
Blanton? Was it Joe?
Vinny Velasquez. Yep.
Was it Vinny V?
Hey, also Philadelphia Phillies fans, get ready because one of the most important games that we're not playing in the Padres and Braves game is going to be pitched by none other than Vinny Velasquez tonight for the San Diego Padres. So today is a must-win because if we lose, we are going to go back to 2 games back because there is no chance in hell that Vinny Velo is going to. It really, I love the name Vinny Exit Velo. That should be his nickname now because anything he throws is heading out of there with 110 miles per hour. It's a 500-foot dick slap guaranteed.
You always get the best takes. But I'll tell you, the Phillies this year, I mean, do they have the team? What are they lacking? Because offense, you can't say they're lacking offense.
Well, no, they're lacking consistency. That's what they're lacking. They're lacking.
How can you be
Aaron,
so inconsistent when you have an offense like them. They're pitching. I mean, is it that bad?
I'm going to go back to the take that Kevin made when we our 200 follower giveaway winner.
Oh man, I hope
he
he's
made a
watching.
great
Love
take
Kevin.
that I sit back to this day. Aaron Nola, obviously his Septembers are always historically bad, but this one is even worse. It's the worst September he's had in his career. But all year he's been Aaron Nola.
Oh well, yeah.
All year he's been very up and down. But he brought up a great point. Kevin did. Aaron Nola was always a pitch to weak contact pitcher. He was never a high striker guy. Now he just he tied the all-time consecutive strikeout record this year. He's putting up nearly double-digit Ks in any game, and it's just crazy because they see this year, they see the defense. Oh yeah, and let them know, Angie.
Hey, Ange.
Hey, Ange.
Ange.
And then just let anybody know if they know that they're not going to be here for the raffle, have them take a picture of their ticket numbers. I'm going to provide an email for them, our company email, send it to us, and then have them make sure they follow us because we're going to be doing a live drawing so they can see if they win. Whether they're watching it live or not, we're going to contact anybody that sends us their email. But if they know they're gone and they don't send us the email, then the prize will go to somebody else.
Yeah,
so if they know, hey, I'm here now, I bought tickets, I won't be here at the end of the day when we draw.
Yeah.
Take a picture of your tickets, send it to our company email. We're going to do a drawing. And when they email us those tickets, put their first name, last name, and a way to contact them.
Okay.
And then
And Ange, if you don't mind saying, smile for the camera because you are on camera right now, my dear. There she is. We'll be having her on soon.
Oh,
what a
yeah.
sweetheart.
But yeah, we just want to make sure that everybody, regardless of whether they're here or not, is going to be able to get those
Fair
prizes.
shot.
This isn't you have to be here to win.
Applause right
Oh,
there.
there you go.
We're happy with that. Oh, man. So we got a lot going on today. Not only do we have prizes and segments, we're going to be slinging some drinks also back there.
Oh yeah. We're having be some guest bartending, but I'd say the best part of this is not the guest bartending, but the guests.
Yeah,
Like we said, we got Chris
with a
from-
capital G, baby. Dickie V.
Exactly.
Dickie V wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. We got Chris from the Philly podcast going to be coming on here momentarily, and then we got Mr. Mayor from John Street Hockey going to be coming on, giving some incredible hockey takes as the training camp started. What, yesterday?
Training camp started 2
The
days
official
ago, I
training camp
believe.
2
We
days
just got
ago?
done rookie camp.
Yep.
I believe Chris actually wants to talk about Tobias Harris again, but we're not going to get into that one.
Yeah, we're not gonna quickly. We're not even gonna bring up a Zoom off around Chris. That was a whole fiasco.
He was very mad about Zoom off for sure.
But no phone calls allowed. No, we're just messing with it.
On the clock.
But yeah, we've got $20 an arm, $30 for 2 arms.
A lot of great
And then,
prizes for sure. A lot of good sport. It's definitely a Flyers table, but there's also something for the ladies. There's some candles out there. We
yeah.
got listen, lady golfers are out there.
Oh, you kidding me?
I mean, I can't wait to get my turn and get out there and start
No,
putting a few shekels in.
I can't wait.
Where's my arm length?
Exactly. You're gonna be finding.
Show me the
Show. I like that. I like that. That's a winner. We got a winner.
We're showing the money right now live on camera. We're going to show the money. Okay, right here. Here's 20 shekels. 20 shekels.
There we go. We got some new fans coming on into the old Philadelphia bar. Let's give another big round of applause for the old Philadelphia bar.
It's right here.
Oh, we got a big round of applause.
Good.
We're doing phenomenal. It's an absolute pleasure to meet Nina in person. Nina is, she is the creator of this lovely Talkin'215 polo. Oh yeah, can't wait to hit the golf course. We're just talking golf. Can't wait to hit that puppy.
My shirt says swinger.
Well, yeah, it does.
But it has a golf swing.
It does.
Oh, well,
Hey-o.
the mayor right there. Oh, look at that. Oh, we are getting official swag right in front of us here.
Goodness.
Hold on a second.
Take a look at that puppy.
Oh, man.
Right
Please,
here.
If you don't mind.
Oh,
Look at that.
Was it Vanna White? Is that who? Vanna White.
We have all types of things going on. We have, this might be, wow.
Oh,
Sturdy
man.
koozies.
Oh, man.
They might be the sturdy ones now.
Bang,
This is the
bang.
one that I'm going to be providing.
Oh, yeah.
Jake. Now they're starting to rally in.
Here we
have
go.
Flyers Alley. Jake. Don't know his last name. Jake, my Boop is long, is here and in person with his beard. Where's the beard? We have the beard off.
Oh no, he's got me. He's got me.
I know.
I wish
Grizzly Adams had a beard.
I wish I could straighten mine like that. Mine just always has that curl to it.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
I was gonna say you got that circle, that cone.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's got the Old City Sports Network rumbling, fumbling live. I like it.
That's sharp. That's sharp. So.
Try this on for sure. Oh, absolutely. You can put it right over there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're fantastic. Grab what's being donated. All right. Oh, this is unbelievable. Wow. People are just coming in left and right now. And turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
there he is. What a lovely shirt. Holy smokes.
Lovely
handsome
shirt.
man.
He has a great head of hair. This is our we are.
There he is.
There he is. Still looking
Oh
good,
yeah.
too.
Why don't we have? I'll hop up and I'll get people going with the raffles. Why don't we have the intern hop on with you?
I have a problem with that at all.
Oh yeah. Hop on in.
First live.
Live on the White Glove guest seat. White Glove Car Wash, White Glove of Delaware, locations in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. Be sure to head on over to White Glove for all your car washing needs.
Get your car washed. Come on in here, intern. Come on, talk. We'll take a topic. Actually, we're gonna tell the story. Come on in. You're close to the mic there. We are live right now. Justin, my man, how are you?
I'm good.
Get in there.
So
we obviously have to tell the story a little bit about how you came on with us.
Okay.
Obviously, I was looking for an inhaler in the Morale Park group. Nina jumped in. We're talking a little sports, and then she mentioned her son is in school for journalism at Penn State. My alma mater. I'm a big Penn State guy. Justin and I got to talking. 215. And the rest is history. Now he's with us. He's doing great work. Showed up a little late today, but obviously we know that was my fault. But my friend, how are you? Welcome, dude.
I'm good. Thanks for allowing me to come up.
Dude, come on now. Absolutely. We're happy to have you. We're happy you're here. We're happy with everything that you've been able to do. I'm really happy about that cheesesteak that I tore up at like 4 a.m.
I wanted it last night too.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't have it because it was mine. Would you a cold beverage?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, we'll make sure we have some down here for you.
What you got?
Oh, a cold Bud Light for you. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're strong for one of those. Let's do a cheers ski. Cheers to you, my friend. Welcome, happy you're here. So yeah, this is going good. We got some good live stuff going on right now. So cool thing about Justin and his family is they're really, really close with a certain sports professional, former professional sports kicker. Why don't you talk a little bit about who that you're really close with and someone that's going to be joining us on the podcast in the future?
Well, he's not a kicker; he's a punter.
Kicks the ball.
But it's Sean Lindetta, former Eagle Sean Lindetta, who punted for the team. He also punted for the New York Giants. He owns a couple Giants records, but owns one Eagles record as well. We know him. He's a close friend of my Aunt Sandy, and he was good friends. He was really nice to my grandma. All around, he's a great guy, and he agreed to join us on the pod for a little bit, for like 30 minutes or so. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And we'll be having that bad boy set up in the near future. The interviews are just coming. There literally is not enough time in the day to take care of. I would do it, my friend. Awesome. So everybody's having a good time. Mingling and kringling. Not sure what that means. Chris Kringling.
It's getting close to Christmas.
And listen, we had Christmas in July not long ago. That was actually a good turn. So, man, looking forward to you writing. You have a bright future. I mean, I couldn't be more happier for you. We're honored to have you, dude. I mean that.
Thank you.
I really do. And I mean that. Having you, you're young. You have great knowledge in sports, and we're going to be diving into it. We're going to have you jump on some segments and we're going to talk some sports. Obviously, we talked yesterday.
Yeah.
I want you to cover. I want you to write about the event, your experience. You have such a bright future with journalism. You're young. Sky's the limit for you. And like I said, Jake, myself, any of these podcasts around, your family, dude, everybody eats. Anything that we can do for you in the future to get you to your goals after college, listen, absolutely, it's going to happen. I told you right off the bat, anything you need from me, you have. And not to mention, we are, baby.
Yeah, we are.
And that's one of the biggest things. Justin, any shout outs you want to give anybody? By all means, go right ahead.
No, I'm chill. I can shout out my mom.
Oh,
My
we have to
there.
shout out mom. Mom definitely needs to be shouted out for sure.
Stretch the arm out. We got some tickets
All right.
coming. They
Some
want
tickets.
the longest arm in the bar. There we go.
Definitely some tickets. There we go. So, we'll wait till Jay comes back, and we'll have our first guest come on, and then we will probably do some celebrity bartending soon. But yeah, so sports wise, I mean, obviously you're all around, you're an all around sports guy. What's like your number one focus, like your sport?
Yeah, I would say that I mainly focus on baseball. I'm pretty knowledgeable on most, pretty much all the baseball teams.
We have a good baseball guy actually. Chris is a big baseball.
Yeah, Chris is gonna be.
Is that your number? Is that your number one? Baseball? I have a club. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Chris is on quite a few podcasts actually. So
Man of many hats.
he is a man. Yeah, that's right. He changed his hat. Holy shit. So if anything, talk a little baseball. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah,
he's
no,
okay with
definitely.
it. Jump on and you can talk some sports with him. Be gentle to my intern, please, Chris. It's only me he doesn't like, but that's because we're family. We've known each other for. I think I was still shitting my pants actually when we knew. I'm still shitting my pants actually. But yeah, my man, get up there. Have some beers. We'll be making sure that you get some segments. My brother, always good to have you on. Bringing it for the real thing, man. Happy you're here, dude.
Thanks.
All right, get the hell out of here. Oh man, wow. I am literally sitting here by myself. Jake's talking. So I guess I could dive into a little bit of I want to save everybody's stuff. No, let's talk this. Let's talk Flyers hockey. Okay, we got the mayor over there, John Street, just ready to do it up.
Chomping at the bit.
Oh man, I know he's ready to get on. Now, listen.
I heard somebody was looking for the mayor.
Yes. We're starting to. So we're gonna. Well, yes, we'll do a little round table and introduce some of our guests. We're not gonna go into a full segment, but we'll introduce like how we became about. God, our story. Our story. I've reached out to you on Twitter, and once again, thank you so much for being a part of this. I mean, you were like I want to say my first friend in the industry, really. I came on as a guest with you. Well, let you tell the story. Why don't you tell the story there?
Absolutely. So Frankie reached out to us on Twitter and Facebook not too long after we started John Street Hockey, me and my buddy Kevin. Unfortunately, Kevin could not be here with us today. He's out enjoying a lovely vacation with his even lovelier girlfriend, Dominique.
She is something special, isn't she?
Absolutely. She loves him, and we still don't know why. But no, so Frankie reached out to us. We did our first live event over at Reedy's Tavern, and we've been best hockey friends ever since. Dare I say best friends and family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been family ever since. We kept that a tradition. And like I said, even to this day, every end of the Flyers season, that season recap, you get Frankie James, the solo
Absolutely.
Man. We do our season recap.
So happy to be here and show love for the old Philadelphia bar and our buddies over here talking 215.
Yeah, and we kept that role, man. And like, you brought us on. We have a good crew. So tell people where we can find you, and obviously we always plug everything. Where can we find you at?
So you can find my personal Twitter at John Street Mayor, and you can find John Street Hockey at John Street Hockey on Twitter. That's John ST Hockey on Twitter for all your Flyers news updates. And dare I say, some of the best hockey talk in the city. John Street Hockey, check us out, guys.
Oh yeah, the mayor definitely has some good stuff, and we'll be waiting for him to get back on here and do his segment, Mayor. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, checking out. I'm going to go have a cold one for you.
I love you to pieces, my friend. I love you to pieces. Wow. I believe that Jake, how are you, my friend? I was just letting the guests kind of introduce themselves and kind of how we all became affiliated with.
Oh yeah.
Chris, why don't you come on and give 2 minutes? Yes, absolutely. Look at this. Oh, Rumble live. Oh well, me and Chris go way back. Chris, grab a seat, my friend.
Oh, and let me not fall.
I feel like our story doesn't even go back to sports. Actually, we can touch on the family. Actually, so we've been friends and family for about.
Well, Chase was born in 07, and around 08, 09, I met you guys.
So about Christ, you how long have you been married now? So your wife?
Too long.
Too long.
15 years.
15 years.
15 years,
and we've known each other for about 12 years of that. I remember when you guys lived right next door to Nanny and Poppy on Crown.
Yep.
And we've just hit it off immediately. I mean, we became family immediately. You know my stepfather. I mean, you know my entire family. I know your entire family. And now we have this relationship to where now we are now growing in the sports world. And we've always looked out for each other. Now I have to bring it up, obviously, because your co-host is a dear good friend of mine as well. Eric, aka Ernie, he'll always be Ernie to me. Let's give him a little shout out.
Yeah, Eric would love to be here, but unfortunately, his dad passed away last week, so he's dealing with all that the last couple of weeks. So he will be. We are doing a live event next week in Doylestown. He's coming back, so he's trying to get back into the swing of things.
Where's that event at, man?
That is in Doylestown at Monkey's Uncle. They graciously donated
Shout
that.
out to Monkey's Uncle for the great donation. Can't wait to be there. I know I will certainly be there in the house to show support for my family. Eric, if you're not listening or if you are listening, shout out to you, my friend. We love you. We miss you. Okay, great. Perfect. Awesome.
Right.
I was eating my
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
I was able to turn up just a little bit without getting
Fantastic. No, I mean, shit, we go way back to the years in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, and when me and Eric, we started CEV Sports in December of 2018 because just to vent about the Eagles and the injuries that were going on.
And he's a great sportsman still. I mean,
right.
Great sports guys.
We were doing it, in the basement of my house, and then COVID happened. Then we dove it. COVID. Then we dug into the podcasting world. Actually, you and Samantha were one of our first,
Yeah, I think I was one of your first.
You were the first official guest.
I was a lot of people's first guest. I was Jake's first guest. I was your first guest. I was Samantha's first guest. John Street, not yours because you guys had Lance on. Obviously our good friend Jake. I can't have Sherry, sadly, but yeah, we go way back, man. And I couldn't be more happier for you to be here. For the success that you have. You're a great sportsman. Pain in the ass, but you're a great sportsman. You're a great friend. You're always be family to me. I love you, brother. And you know that, man.
Ditto.
Get out of here, Can't wait for your segment, my man. Love the pieces.
Thanks.
Oh, man. Well, Travster, how we doing? That's for the most part, obviously, for our...
I'm back.
He's back. I guess we should welcome our first crew. We'll let them come on, and
then what? We're heading behind the bar.
We're gonna head back. We have Donna's back there right now. We're gonna get back behind there. She's gonna show us the ropes.
A little round of applause for Donna.
Round of applause for Donna back there. We see her back there, baby. Guess what? You have two young gents back there right now, and you get to point the fingers and sip lemonade or whatever the hell you want to sip.
All righty. So, yeah, Chris, why don't you hop on in? You're welcome to have any guests on.
Chris, you can have a guest.
Do your thing.
Solo, whatever you like to do. We are gonna grab the.
Where do you want to sit? Here.
All right, guys, enjoy.
Like 1, like 3, like 4. Just slide them up as you need them. Random sound effects. You open this figure. Like 2 is on. Like 2 is orange. Like 2 is on. Like 2 is hot. Like 2 is hot. Choke myself.
All right. So I'm gonna dive into the Phillies for a little bit. So, well, I'm gonna lead into that because that Jake bringing that up was a good thing. But about the 2010, because you have a lot of fans who don't want the Phillies to make the playoffs. I don't know why, but even if they make the playoffs, it's good for these guys to get the experience. You want everybody to get the experience of playing baseball, being hungrier for, that event of playing Red October baseball in Philadelphia. I don't know who wouldn't want their team to make the playoffs, whether it's a one and done wild card game, but it's absolutely ludicrous that you don't want to root for your team to make the playoffs. Right. Yeah. And it's fun. They're keeping us, we're going into the last week of the season. There's 8 games left and they're still in the hunt. And then you have players like Adubel who are staring at fly balls instead of hustling the second, who was benched last night. And then after he got benched today for Matt Verling, which is the right call in my opinion. I could be wrong, but, I don't like Odubel Herrera. I don't think he should be on the team. I have my personal feelings for him, but if anybody else wants to come up and dive in and talk about Phillies, we can do that. But, we had big game today. Like they said, Vinny Velasquez coming in for the Padres. I don't know how he's still in Major League Baseball and not in the minors. Playing against the Braves, who were just keep winning when we win, and when we lose, they lose. So it's hard to gain ground. But they had a big series coming up this weekend, or this week, not this weekend, with the Braves. Hopefully we can sweep the Pirates. And it's been a rough 2 nights with the Pirates, going down 6-0 and then winning 12-6, then losing, going down 4-1, and then Didi Gregorius with a big 3-run home run, who's batting 157 against left-handed pitches with 3 home runs, and then hits the game-winning 3-run home run in the 7th inning last night. Like this is what October baseball is about. This is what these young guys need to play. You have Bryce Harper doing everything in his mind to get this team to the playoffs. Like, literally standing on his head, hustling, making the plays at home plate and from the field. He's got 30 home runs, 90 walks, 90 runs. He might not hit the 100 RBI plateau, but, it's carrying the team. He's the MVP of the league. And, if you want to maybe argue that Juan Soto is the front runner, Juan Soto is the front runner. It's a good argument to have because Juan Soto's numbers for September and August, they're outrageous. If he was on any other team, they'd be a World Series favorite. But he's not going to be on the Phillies, or he's not going to be in the Nationals in a couple of years anyway. So hopefully the Nationals can enjoy him for the next 2 seasons. But, we got Bryce Harper, the MVP. He's doing all this without Rhys Hoskins. He's doing all this with, no Rhys Hoskins. JT Realmuto's injured shoulder. Didi Gregorius' terrible defense. Obviously, Ronald Torreyes is playing, a good third base, but he's a bench player. He's nothing else. And we have all that going on, and they're still in the hunt. People want to dive in and talk about the Phillies bullpen and their 34 blown saves, which actually ties the record, in the National League record. But I think the blown saves is taken a little out of proportion because they're 13-13 games they blow in the 9th inning, not games they've lost or games that have. The 34 blown saves comes from the bullpen. The Los Angeles Dodgers have 28 blown saves, 28, and no one talks about that. So, obviously, the Dodgers are a different animal. They've clinched a playoff spot along with the Giants. So, but 34 blown saves, and they're still in the playoff hunt. I talk about this on the Diamond Club podcast with, my other co-host John Hunter and Danny Hart. This is good playoff baseball. This is stuff that these JT Realmuto hasn't tasted it. Rhys Hoskins, when he hasn't tasted it. Aduba Herrera, unfortunately, Verling, like all these young guys, like everybody on that pitching staff needs to get this playoff baseball. They have to get this exposure. It happened in 2007 with the Phillies when they got swept by the Rockies. And then we saw what happened when they came back in 2008. They were just literally the most dominant baseball team in the playoffs. So, I don't know what else you want from these guys. Joe Girardi has made some questionable decisions. 10 games left in the season, and he rests JT Realmuto.
Oh, yeah. That was a wonderful decision.
John Street has it. He's got the envelope. 10 games left, and you rest JT Realmuto, who comes off the bench and delivers 4 RBIs and 3 hits. They rested him for 5 innings. Just rest him. No, this is what these guys. This is the best catcher in baseball. He needs to play every inning for this stretch run. If you want to put Marchand behind the plate, put JT Realmuto in. Let him play first base because I don't know if anyone saw the play last night, but with Brad Miller, I'm going to dive into that with Jake. So, Brad Miller, Gene Segura makes a ridiculous play in the outfield in the shift position. He's a second baseman. And he turns around and throws the ball, and there's no stretch by Brad Miller. Like even high school first baseman knows. My son, who when he played first base, he was 10 years old. He knew to stretch out. Brad Miller made no effort. Granted, he had a home run yesterday, but by him not stretching out, the next batter came up, and boom, hits a 2-run home run. Now we're losing 5-4. Like it's plays like that as a fan you get aggravated, especially when you know the game of baseball and what's supposed to be done. You want to fight them. Like, you just want to fight these players, like Alec Boehm, like not knowing how to field a ground ball. Odubel Herrera hitting a line drive to the outfield and watching it, and instead of being on second, he's on first. So like you get mad. Like, you get mad as a fan. So he shouldn't start today. Matt Verling starting today. Maybe you bench him for the next 2 games. He doesn't deserve to be in there. So I don't know what else to say about Odubel Herrera. You got Gene Segura playing a really good second base. You have what's his name? Didi Gregorius, who is just a liability at shortstop. And you got Torreyes, who's playing third because we don't have a third baseman. There's a lot of arguments going on social media that Torreyes should be a third base, should be starting in this league. Torreyes is a good utility player. That's it. That there's nothing else about him. He's a good utility player, and that's a lot of people have made their career off of being a good utility player. Andrew McCutcheon's batting .220 this year, probably hit the 30 home run mark. Then you got Matt Verling. It's like, and a lot of people want to get on Joe Girardi about his lineup. Well, let's talk about the lineup. We have Travis Janikowski up here instead of Mickey Moniak. That is such a miscarriage of justice to Mickey Moniak. You rotate, you platoon with Andrew McCutcheon and Mickey Moniak if you don't want to put Moniak in center. That's what you need to do. I mean, the whole Mickey Moniak thing drives my mind insane. The bullpen. If I'm going to blame Joe Girardi on anything, I don't understand how a former catcher doesn't know how to handle a bullpen. The lineup, I have no problem with. You have the lineup. It is what it is. He's using what he has. So we can't fault him for using that. However, we can fault him on how he uses the bullpen. So mishandles it. Hector Neris has been tearing it up since he is no longer a closer. He doesn't have that pressure. I don't know if anyone saw the game last night on how hype he was when he got the guy to ground out to himself with the bases loaded and 2 outs. That's the emotion that these guys need. You want to see all the time. And just the bullpen. Ian Kennedy pitching a lot of pitches. I don't want to hear that he's not available. The guy pitches. I don't care if he pitches 30 pitches in 1 inning. He pitches 1 inning a game. He should have 60 appearances, and they should be back-to-back nights, unless your starting pitcher is absolutely tearing it up on the field, which unfortunately we haven't had that luxury. The last 4 starts, Kyle Gibson has looked dominant, and then he hits the 5th inning, and then he looks like Vincent Velasquez of the San Diego Padres. So we got a big game today with the Phillies and the Pirates in the 4-game series, game 3. Hopefully they can pull out the win. It's an afternoon game. Then you have Vinny Velasquez going tonight for San Diego, which San Diego is in the middle of they're trying to catch the wild card, and like they're 2 games, they're 76 and 74. Like they need every win from the end of the season. So for the fact that they have Vinny Velasquez going, you know that ball is leaving that yard at Petco Park, unfortunately. So I really don't have anything else Phillies wise. I'm gonna turn it over to John Street. He can talk some hockey. So I will turn it over to him. Look for me on Twitter, the Diamond Club Podcast, Tendies on Patterson, CEV Sports. I'm always posting. Look for me on TikTok as well. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to the mayor of John Street with his Miller High Life and his brand new koozie from Rumble Fumble Live. I actually saw this when it came in, and I was actually excited for it. I always like to have a new koozie. So, are you coming on by yourself? Is Sam coming on? Sounds good. So we'll do that. Like I said, come on out to the old Philadelphia bar. They got some good prizes out here. You have Frankie and Jake. Little Jake, that is, because Big Jake's on the other side. Slinging beers behind the bar. I'm on a Cosmopolitan. And with that, I'm giving it over to the mayor of John Street.
Hey, with a big Chris. Philly Diamond Club, my man. Yeah. I'll bring you on. What's going on, everybody? It is the mayor of John Street from John Street Hockey, the best hockey talk in Philadelphia. And more importantly, while we're talking about Philadelphia, we are at the old Philadelphia bar in Fishtown. We're here to let everybody know this bar is still here. It's still ready to prosper. And we got some great giveaways to celebrate with. We got autographed Jeff Carter jerseys. We have game-used pucks. We got Kenwood beers coming out in a 12-pack. We got 15 packs of Kenwood beers. You have an opportunity to win a round of golf with me, the mayor of John Street. I'll be taking you out to the Middletown Country Club. We'll be throwing back ice-cold beers the whole time. We're playing 18. We're smoking sticks. We're hitting sticks. And if you're lucky, we'll have a laugh or two. But on to the Flyers. There's a lot going on this offseason so far. We've made plenty of moves. We got a young team with some established veterans ready to make some noise in the Metropolitan Conference. I'm sorry, Metropolitan Division. Sorry, too many of these ice-cold high lifes here. Hey, white trash beers for a white trash guy. Am I right? So a lot of great acquisitions this offseason to be excited about. Start with Cam Atkinson, a guy who was sure to lock up a spot in the top six. Excited to see what he brings to the table. We got some depth moves like Derek Brassard. We have made, I wouldn't call it an upgrade. I wouldn't call it a downgrade. I would call it more of a lateral move at the backup goaltender position. You bring in the guy from San Jose who has played a lot of games in the NHL. He's won a lot of games. He's got a career 908 save percentage. And he's somebody that you could ride if he gets hot. He's a guy that we're ready to take the reins if Carter Hart gets hurt. Pray to God that Carter Hart doesn't get hurt, but he's a guy you can hand the reins over to for a little bit. Unfortunately, though, the Flyers have been bitten by the injury bug early here, just at the start of training camp. We have a... Okay, so the peanut gallery is telling me we got shot in the face with the injuries rather than bit by the injury bug. But whatever way you shake it out, we're getting hammered here with injuries early on. Training camp just started. You already got a couple of knees, a couple of high ankle sprains. We're losing Kevin Hayes for quite a bit here. Sam Moran to have a what they're calling a minor knee procedure, but any kind of minor knee procedure with Sam Moran, we all know can go north, south, east, or west at any given time. But there's plenty to be excited about. I'm interested to see how this new group of guys gels together, right? With any team with new acquisitions, obviously it's going to take some time for everybody to get used to playing with each other, develop the chemistry, learn AV's system. But I think overall it's going to be a good year. I think we're going to pick ourselves out of the dumps where we were last year. Last year was a season that nobody saw coming. You didn't expect such poor defense in front of Carter Hart, and you did not expect to see Carter Hart's numbers where they are. But I've said this on our podcast plenty of times: when the team defense in front of the goalie brings nothing to the table, then the goalie starts to bring less to the table. Once again, guys, we are out here at the old Philadelphia bar with tons of great giveaways. At this time, I would like to bring on my favorite Phantoms girl. She covers the Philadelphia Phantoms, right? She covers the Philadelphia Phantoms for Flyers Nitty Gritty, as well as for her podcast, Phantoms of the Spectrum. Sam, how we doing?
How are you, Sean?
So far, so good here. So let's get right into it here. So you are so sold on this Lehigh Valley Phantoms name, yet the name of your podcast is Phantoms of the Spectrum.
Well,
how can you pay homage to the Spectrum and not respect the Phantoms' Philadelphia roots?
Well, I gotta tell them their real name, even though they used to play at the Spectrum. They are the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, although they are originally the Philadelphia Phantoms, so I have to give them homage to that.
So I know you're relatively new to the hockey scene.
Yes.
So you weren't really following the team much when they were in Philadelphia, but some of my best memories were at that Spectrum, watching those Phantoms. I don't know if you remember the when they used to have the school days where all the schools would come out and they're playing fucking like SpongeBob music on the Jumbotron.
I remember hearing about that. They actually do that with not to go back to baseball, but the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. They bring like the schools out and have the kids come out for a day.
Growing up in the Philadelphia area, we used to go out to the Spectrum usually once a year for a game. Like I said, they're playing the kids' music on the Jumbotron. Meanwhile, it is the Always Hungry League, so you got guys dropping the gloves down on the ice. And this was in a different era of hockey, before the skill really took over and grit, tenacity, and dropping the mitts was required, especially in what they call the Always Hungry League, the AHL.
Or the Gauntlet, or, the pre-show. I'm a huge advocate for player development, and it's a great league to, watch these guys develop. And it breaks my heart when they get up to the big league, but it also makes me really proud.
Dare I say, I think the AHL is probably the third best league in the world. Obviously, the NHL is the league of all leagues as far as the NHL is considered, as far as hockey is considered, I'm sorry. So obviously you start off with the NHL at the top. I got to go KHL as the, co-favorite as far as level of competition.
Yes.
You get a lot of NHL rejects go over there, but it's still NHL level skill. Maybe just certain guys that couldn't deal with the speed of the NHL. And then obviously the AHL, which, correct me if I'm wrong, has taken a turn towards more of a turn towards development. You have less guys that are coming in as NHL reject heavyweight type of people, and you're leaning more on the development.
Thanks, Frankie.
We got Frankie mixing it up behind the bar here. He's got some specialties going on. Just brought one out to Sam. Hey, Frankie, what are we calling that drink?
Liquid marijuana.
Liquid marijuana. That is a Frankie Steskel exclusive. You can get it here today while Frankie's mixing up drinks behind the bar at the old Philadelphia bar.
So, I definitely have to agree with you on the KHL. A lot of our players do come from the KHL. More specifically, one of the more recent players is Felix Sandstrom, who is one of the goaltenders for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
Absolutely, and we're all extremely excited to see what Sandstrom has to offer. Possibly the backup of the future here, a guy that we're hoping to be able to lean on for, say, 25, 30 games.
I'm definitely amped on Sandstrom this year. He was showing so much confidence towards the end of the last season. And then we have Kirill Ustimenko. We also have Samuel Ersson. And this past week, they actually signed Pat Nagel.
I've heard great things about Ustimenko. What can you tell me about him?
He definitely needs development. I'm going to say that. I need to see him. He also just lost an entire season of development due to a torn hip labrum. You need your hips in hockey. You need your hips in life, basically.
Especially as a goalie.
Yeah, especially as a goalie. So I'm interested to see what he does. a good friend of ours, Chris Mayer. He was
Chris Mayer, you can find him on YouTube at Flyers Fan Mania 93.
Yes. And,
Gotta plug my boy.
And I asked him yesterday, I was like, hey, how's Ustimenko looking? And he's like, he's looking real good. And then I asked him again, who would he be better paired with, Sandstrom or Ersson? But he didn't answer me back on that. But we did just recently sign a AHL goalie by the name of Pat Nagel. He has phenomenal numbers. I've watched video of him, so we're going to see what he does.
Absolutely. So would you say that the AHL goalie situation is, I would say, improved since you came on our podcast a few months ago?
Yes. Heartbroken, but yes, it has improved.
For those of you that don't know, Samantha here has a massive crush on a former Lehigh Valley Phantoms goaltender who is now
a Carolina Hurricanes.
He's now throwing pads around for the Hurricanes. Do you want to touch on that, or is it a little too emotional?
Alex Lyon got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes at the end of July, and my good friend over here, who is part owner of my podcast, knows how heartbroken I truly was over that. I kind of wanted to jump off a bridge, but it was a depressing few days in the group chat, but kind of starting to move on. My good friend George Arbakis, who is having just a Jersey Expo in New Jersey right now, he got me a nameplate from the Flyers locker room with Alex's name on it.
Yeah, I saw that on your Twitter. I'm sure you were thrilled to have that. It's got to be a great addition to any man or woman cave. Are you a woman cave person or a she shed person?
She shed.
Okay, big she shed podcast here. So moving on to some of our other prospects down there in Lehigh Valley. My boy Tyson Forrester, I hear his skating has improved immensely. Are you seeing that as well down there?
I haven't seen him skate yet, but Frankie was at the rookie game on Sunday, and he says that his skating has definitely improved.
Speaking of the
Tyson
rookie
Forrester.
game, unfortunate injury to our buddy Wade Allison. Hope to see him back. Not too soon, but soon enough, obviously. Thanks, Frankie, to that exclusive picture from the rookie game where Allison was unfortunately injured.
Yeah, so like we've said before, we've gotten shot in the face with injuries currently. We are up to number 6. So we have Zade Wisdom, who is out until December, but he's listed as indefinitely. He could come back sooner. We have Wade Allison, who's out with a high ankle sprain. We have Sam Marin, who had surgery on his right knee for loose bodies. Ryan Fitzgerald, who has a lower body injury. Ryan Fitzgerald is the cousin to Kevin Hayes, and give our condolences to the Hayes family for the passing of Jimmy. And
it's just one punch after another for that Hayes family.
Yeah. And so he's listed as indefinitely, and upper body injury for, oh God, I can't even remember. There's so many injuries right now.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to that high ankle sprain. Quite possibly one of the worst injuries a hockey player can endure early on in the season, or in this case, early on in training camp. It's the kind of injury that is nagging, and it takes forever and a month of Sundays to heal. And obviously, we want these guys to get a chance to play together. We want to see them, start to gel. I just hope that we don't rush anybody back, particularly with these high ankle sprains. Again, it is one of the worst injuries you can play hockey with. It's right where you lace up the boot, and really playing on it can make it 10 times worse.
Yeah. So this actually. So this week, this week on my podcast, Fans of the Spectrum, we're going to actually talk about injuries and how that affects player development, and what types of injuries are harder to come back from.
So anybody in particular at the AHL level that you're really excited about this year?
Tyson Forrester. Once Zade Wisdom comes back, I want to see how he plays. And I'm also really interested in watching Samu Tuomola.
Absolutely. I know Jamie, head of Flyers Nitty Gritty. I know he's very high on him.
Jamie's very high on a lot of the prospects, but especially Samu.
Absolutely. So, Sam, I'm going to thank you for joining me here. Once again, we are at the Old Philadelphia Bar. We got tons of great giveaways, and there's tons of time for you guys to make it down here, grab a beer, a bite, and some raffle tickets. We're doing an arm's length for 20, 2 arms length for 10 for all the prizes on the table. There's baskets in front of each one where you can pick what prizes you want to put your tickets towards. Maybe throw a ticket at all of them. Throw a bunch of them at it, tea time with the mayor of John Street.
I also gave a donation of a game of my seats, which are 2 rows from the goalie, for the December 4th game against the Hershey Bears.
Beautiful. So go ahead and check those out. That's a giveaway for 2 Lehigh Valley Phantoms tickets, courtesy of Sam Wismer and the Phantoms of the Spectrum podcast. Sam, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, guys, we are so excited to be out here. Huge shout out to my buddies over here at Talkin'215, Samantha Wismer of the Phantoms of the Spectrum podcast. You can find her on Twitter at Samantha Wismer. Again, you can find me on Twitter at John Street Mayor, John Street Hockey at John Street Hockey. That's John ST Hockey. All the best hockey talk in Philadelphia. You can catch myself and my co-host Kevin McHugh once a week. We'll be talking. And I want to give a huge shout out to some of the best sponsors in the world that sponsor the John Street Hockey podcast. I want to give a huge shout out to Hubba Hubba Hoagies on Woodburn Road in Langhorne. Some of the best sandwiches you can get. That's the official sandwich of John Street. That's Hubba Hubba Hoagies on Woodburn Road. Hoagies that make you say, Hubba Hubba. And we also want to thank our friends over at over on 2nd Street Pike's Pub. Great place to grab a beer and a bite with your friends, throw a couple of shekels on some college football, some NFL football, and more importantly, to see your favorite Flyers podcast once a month. We will be there for the Flyers game against the Seattle Kraken to kick off our relationship with Pike's Pub. It'll be a perfect opportunity to kick it off with them, as well as kicking off the Flyers' eventual rivalry with the Seattle Kraken. With that being said, I appreciate the hell out of the guys from Talkin'215 for bringing me on. I'm getting ready to go do a shift behind the bar. Frankie's going to come up here, and he's going to talk some sports with you. If you need a nice cold beer, I'll be back behind the bar in just a couple of minutes here. Thanks again, everybody. The mayor is out.
Oh, no, I'm not saying sign. No. I can't go out there with a personal Signers are good, by the way. Oh, thank you. I'll put this your name under here. Get them blood. And everyone's crazy because I didn't want to. Jimmy, I think Jimmy Brown was very overrated. But they should have lost that game. On top of what they had. It should have been like 30. I mean, this is too wide open. Not at the they had no set. How is that that turned him out.
All right. Here we are.
Nice setup, Jake.
Thank you. I like it. That's all I have to say. Oh, yeah. Going to be setting up the old putting competition. People are going to be throwing down some money on that. Frankie, if you're going to the bathroom, go to the bathroom because I want to get back on here. Well, here I am. Yeah, I got some good stuff there, ladies. Got some lovely drawings there. Oh yeah. You can put the ones that say. No, it's not. It's a bunch of different stuff. There's no food in it though, but there's Delco themed wrapping paper. Oh yeah, Chris can explain anything and everything that's in there. That's like gourmet coffee. There he is. Oh yeah, I meant to go get some of those out real quick. Well, you sit down, I'll get out now.
Yo, how's it look, Jake?
Good. That's great.
I don't know. What's up? That shirt is a little tight.
Oh, it's not perfect.
No, it's not. I see your heartbeat.
Heartbeat fast.
That's for Dad.
I knew I had tickets. That was the album.
You tell Ace to go really tight? Yeah, I told him. It's like,
The Gabs grab tickets or now? Tell Gabs to come here.
Did you work?
I'm gonna have her do this for me.
I still wanted to yell in there. Let's go about the Cam York interview.
Gabs, can you report to the principal's office, please? Thank you very much. Is there a Gabs? Hi, Gabs. You want to put some tickets in for me, babe? All right. So my biggie one that I really want is the golf. I don't care if it's the one with Mayor John Street or the one that your loving boyfriend put in. Other than that, put in whatever you want. All right. Thank you. The Yankee Candle one is these two, by the way. But yeah, whatever you want. Just put like two each in the golf one. That's it. Did you even know she was here? Oh, she was doing. All right. Well, man, we just got done. Jake and I, the Talkin'215 podcast, just got done doing a little celebrity bartending back there with Donna. Donna, thank you again for showing us the ropes and your trusty slinger / bartender / having a great time next to Ange over there. Ange, Ange. Hi, Ange. Ange. Who's that sitting next to you, Ange? And no, you're good, Ange. Who's that sitting next to you with the mask? Who is that? What's that young lady's name? What's the lady with the mask next to you? What's her name? Ona. Thank you to Ona too for showing us the ropes, and thank you to Donna. What a great time doing a little celebrity bartend. I'll tell you, I haven't bartended in some time, and it all came back to me. Oh, what did you get? A couple cheesesteaks? What's what we got there?
I wish.
Oh, little Steve steak. I had that last night about 3 a.m. Actually, I took it from Nina's house. Nina's Creative Creations gave me some swag and a half-eaten cheesesteak. I think it was actually our interns. I took it and put it in my pocket.
Pocket steak.
The old pocket steak. I think we should throw our stairs hits one into the night. Because we're going to welcome ourselves back. What is that, by the way? The stairs rips one into the night. Red. Here we go. The Talkin'215 podcast is about to come back. Let's go.
Stairs rips one into the night. Deep into right. Moves to the right. It goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it. And the pass goes into the end zone. To Nick Foles.
He scores! Pete Primo is able to win it, and the Flyers win the touchdown.
Can he get it off? Yes! And the Sixers win it!
Yeah. And we're back. Took a nice little 30-second intermission there. But we have some incredible giveaways here. Some people are focusing so intently on them that they can hear nothing else.
I have Gabs. I gave Gabs the tickets and said, listen, 2 tickets each for each golf. The rest, get yourself something nice.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Get yourself something nice.
Yeah, no kidding. We got some crafts up there. I saw a wall hanger that fit perfect in any kind of Eagles fan's man cave there. Are you kidding me?
Well, I actually want that too. I think she was looking at Stacy's mom, and I don't know Stacy, but apparently the mom has a beard named after her.
Yeah, and apparently I believe she has it going on. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Stacy's mom does in fact have it going on.
I also heard that she's all that I wanted. She's all that I want.
And all that I need. Philadelphia sports, a lot of news coming out of this week.
Ryan Miller, I'll take anything Cowboys related.
Dallas week. Oh yeah, need a Sheagles craft. I hear you, Ryan. Come on down. Anything Cowboys related. Okay, Ryan. Let's talk Dallas week. Let's talk about something that we debuted our big Dallas week episode last night. Be sure to go tune into it. We had the coach, fan of your Dallas Cowgirls, on there talking. But a point that Scoots made that was wonderful was this will be one of the only times in a long time, or at least we're hoping that it'll consistently be this way.
I need the Sheagles craft.
Both starting quarterbacks for the Eagles and the Cowboys will be playing. I mean, last year you saw the Red Rocket. You saw Ben DiNucci.
The Red Rocket?
Yeah, you saw the Red Rocket and Andy Dalton.
With a dog?
Yeah, it is. But you saw the Red Rocket, Ben DiNucci. You've seen Mark Sanchez. You've seen Kyle Orton. You've seen every single different mixture under the sun, both Mark Sanchez on the Eagles and on the Cowboys. I mean, it's ridiculous how many different variations of quarterbacks have been out there. So we're hoping that this Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott matchup could be something that you'll be seeing for years to come.
I think that Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, this is going to be the matchup that a lot of people are going to be talking about in the future, in past, present, and future. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, they're similar quarterbacks. Now, Jalen runs a little bit more than Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Dak also has a little bit more better weapons. I think we can both agree on that.
When healthy, yes.
When healthy. Now, it's a good comparison. It really is. Now, personally,
well, it's not really a comparison. I'm just saying, like, you've seen over the years so many different backups. You've rarely seen like you listen to sports radio this week. All you're going to hear is that the rivalry nowadays is not nearly what it was in the 80s, in the 90s. But I mean, that's also partly due to the fact that the Cowboys have sucked for 25 straight years. Like, what kind of rivalry is there? Yeah, there's been some games that they won. There's been some games that they've lost. the Cowboys have sucked for 25 years, and that's great. And the Eagles have had some good years and had some bad, but there's not that same rivalry because it seems like when one team has a good year, like when the Cowboys had, and they lost in what, the second round? Their first round. Yeah, their first round, but the second round. Real impressive, guys. And there hasn't been any year where they've really both been competitive. So, and I don't really think that this year is that year either. But it doesn't mean that my hatred of Dallas has gone any less.
Not at all. And my hatred is Dallas, if anything, has always grown and always will grow. I mean, I go back to rivalries like Eagles-Dallas. I go back to, there it is right there. We got the old school jersey. Even Flyers-Devils. If anybody can remember back in the 2003 days. Flyers-Devils.
That was bigger than the Flyers-Penguins.
Yes, Flyers-Devils was bigger than any hockey. Was one of the best. And now, obviously, Flyers-Penguins is up there, of course. But to talk rivalry on this rivalry week, let's hear a question from Chris. Yeah.
What is your opinion?
He wouldn't make it in today's NHL because of the fact of the way he hits. He always led. You can't. So the hit that he had on Lindros, it wouldn't even count. I mean, it would count, but it would be he would be suspended.
Severe suspension.
His game doesn't fit in today's NHL. A lot of that doesn't fit in today's NHL.
So does Tom Wilson fit into the NHL?
And that's another great question. No. And for some
I would say no.
No. So who was actually more aggressive, Tom Wilson or Scott Stevens?
For me,
Scott Stevens.
Scott Stevens knew where you were going to be.
Now that just comes with good NHL knowledge because you're absolutely right. And especially as a defenseman, he never left his position. They were crossing his path.
Who was dirtier?
Tom
Wilson. Yeah,
Tom
no
Wilson.
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Because at that time,
it wasn't considered that
Scott
dirty. It was considered
Stevens
very, very physical.
Yes, wasn't considered.
And he kept it. He was like that with everybody. Remember, he leveled Paul Correa into the third period, and then Paul Correa came back and scored the game winner.
Man, Paul Correa. Do you remember Paul Correa? He was American-born. He was an American-born player,
Paul
wasn't he?
the North Korea. No. Oh yeah, no. I mean, my dad always jokes like he was playing high school sports, football, wrestling, all. He was playing lacrosse when that first was becoming an actual sport, and he's like, I'd have games where I would literally get knocked unconscious, and they put me back in. Like, oh, you just got your bell rung, kid. Get back out there. He's like, nowadays you're going to the hospital. Like I have a vast. Yeah, I have a vast history of concussions, so I know the process. Nowadays, you're out. You're missing school. Like you're missing. You're not just missing the game. You're not going back to school for 2 weeks. And then when you come back and you're on half days, it's ridiculous. Then you're like, oh, you had your bell run. Get back out there, kid. And you're like, everything tastes like metal. You're like, oh, you're fine.
Literally, I took a hit.
He still has what is it, tinnitus? When you have the ringing, he was like,
I took a hit in juniors right when I was done high school. Actually, it was my senior year at Judge. I played Father Judge Ice Hockey for 18 years.
Not a big deal. We don't hear about that all the time. Also, have you heard that he's a credentialized writer for the Philadelphia Flyers?
Thank you very much. So I took a hit. I took a hit similar to the one that R.J. Umberger took from Brian Campbell.
Wow, he took a hit harder than R.J. Umberger.
No, it was similar. I was coming up the ice. I put my head down, and I got cracked.
Moment of silence. Frankie actually died.
I had to get told how to tie my shoes again. I was out 2 years. 2 years of hockey, I was out. I'm still all messed up. You kidding me? Come on now. How long have we been friends for? And you get Christ.
I thought listen, I don't know. I thought
Did you see the look on his face when he looked up? He like it was unreal. It was literally. I think it's probably here having a beer somewhere. Someone get RJ Umberger Soul a cold one on Talkin'215, please.
Yeah, no kidding. We're kind of jumping all around.
Well, going back,
something that we haven't really touched on. Something that we haven't really touched on that I think we really need to.
Oh, Jesse! Oh, gotta give a shout out to Jesse.
Oh yeah, what's going on, man?
The leader of Flyers Alley. How are you, my brother?
He's supposed to be at a wedding.
He is supposed to be at a wedding. I tried to find out the address of where the wedding was at. So
does anyone object? I do. I mean, nope.
Damn it!
So we haven't talked about this in quite some time, but it's something that I've been really thinking a lot about, and that's Benjamin Simmons.
Oh, we're gonna dive into it. Holy shit!
Is there in the history of Philadelphia sports, where do you personally rank him as most hated athletes of a Philadelphia athlete, like not of an opposing team?
Can I give you my three?
Way above Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is still, a lot of people still revere him as we should have kept him.
So I'm going to give you my top three, if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
Okay, so my number one, because Ben Simmons was, you look at it, because Ben Simmons was supposed to be something so great, but I put up, so I'll put Ben Simmons number one, I'll put Billy Wagner number two, and then number three, I'll put J.D. Drew. Those are probably my top three most hated Phillies, Philadelphia athletes, so to speak. Because remember when J.D. Drew came back to town, didn't they throw batteries at him? I think they threw batteries at him. Billy Wagner, he hated us.
If my lifetime, I'd have Ben Simmons one.
Yeah.
Jason Babbitt number two. Could not stand that guy. And you heard when we talked to Jimmy Kempski, he was like,
shout out to Jimmy Kempski.
No doubt the worst interview I've ever been a part of.
He did say that.
He was like, this guy was such.
He did say Dallas has the best snack food, I believe, in arenas.
He did. He said the best.
About that one.
The best press box food spread was in Dallas, and he said hands down. I imagine he get some barbecue there.
He did give us a hands down too. Remember when he said that if we were live, he was taking his clothes off?
He did.
He did say that. Go back and review that one.
Frank, why do you have Wagner too?
Oh, Billy Wagner. I gave my top.
Yeah, I was a little curious on that one myself.
So my three, I guess I didn't really put them in any simultaneous order, but those are the three that came to my mind immediately. Because Billy Wagner, one, if he didn't throw 100, we booed him. He literally would talk about the fans, how he hates the fans. He hated the.
Okay, then do you hate Jonathan Papelbon?
I think Billy Wagner was.
Who was worse?
I think Billy Wagner was worse. Yeah, more vocal.
I love Papelbon. He's a maniac. You got to be a maniac to be a closer.
Yeah, if you're a closer, you're insane.
What are your thoughts on Ilya Bryzgalov?
If you're a relief pitcher, your odds are you're insane.
I love Papelbon, man. I
Oh,
love Papelbon. The old stare down, dude.
Come
Dude.
So it's crazy that
Come on, dude.
Old stare down.
Briz. You're saying, does Briz make your list? No, Briz, he was just nuts.
Yeah, it was a waste of money. He was one of the highest.
he's in there with the worst contract.
He's up there with Mike DiPietro. 15 years. Remember him for the Islanders?
Oh, I remember.
They signed him.
I played DiPietro on the old backyard hockey.
With a little mustache.
He's not Bob Bonilla.
Oh, well, the old Bob Bonilla.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, obviously, like, that's like, I can't even believe that.
Dude.
That,
with that being said, dude.
I don't even know what to say. Whatever. All right, I'm trying to just talk sports.
I'm out of here.
I just find it very interesting.
Wagner is definitely on the list of most hated Philadelphia athletes. Absolutely. Now, the order might not have been there, but those were the first three that came to my mind.
Look, Ben Simmons, Jason Babin, and then three.
Let's do each sport. Should we do each sport?
Went from
I've
4 months. It took him to go to the work.
No, I will tell you, and you can ask people that I spoke to last year, years before then. I do not, and I never have liked Ben Simmons.
And there's a lot of people like that. But I'm saying overall, 4 months. It's amazing that in May, where we are now, there's no one defending.
Look at the mayor behind the bar right now, just doing his thing. Shout out to John
slinging drinks.
Mayor's slinging drinks. Get him to do something over there. I want to see him do a little something.
I mean, you know what they say.
No, rents do every day.
Rents do every day. There he is.
Listen, I can't really argue with that one for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll get that as a drop.
I'll get that as a drop. So hey, let's do this. Let's do this before we move on. We're going to go around. You and I pick each 4-4. Pick an athlete that is most hated in your opinion on each sport, and then we'll allow some of our guests to come on and dissect it.
Of all time, I would say Ben Simmons now takes. I think of all time he takes basketball. I do believe that.
I do too. I agree.
I think he surpasses anyone else.
Yeah, I agree because of how. Yeah, I agree. Him and Markel are like right there. So Ben Simmons, I agree with you.
Yep.
So let's go to baseball. Phillies.
What's his name? I always mix him up with Aaron Rowan, but it's not. What was his name? No, I always mix. It's like a similar name to Rowan.
We're gonna let you guys come on next and just talk about it.
Hated baseball. What did he play?
Who was it? So I'll think about it.
I like out there.
I'm gonna probably put Odubel Herrera.
Yeah. Oh, obviously he's up there, but all time.
You guys do go next. So Odubel, Eagles. I'm gonna have to go.
Orlando Scandrick.
Yeah, good one. Orlando Scandrick. I mean, if I don't care how long he was here for, you're gonna be on next. And then Philadelphia Flyers, most hated Philadelphia Flyer of all time. In my opinion, I'm just going to have to go with it. I'm going to have to go with JVR just because of the simple fact that we were not supposed to have him that year and he ruined my Stanley Cup. We were supposed to have Patrick Kane. JVR is always going to be in my book as somebody I'm just not going to just mesh with. I'm sorry. And kind of Aaron Asham when he went to Pittsburgh. I liked him when he was here, but then when he went to Pittsburgh, oh my God, I couldn't stand him.
What about old Zach Ronaldo? A lot of people didn't like that guy. I liked
Zach
him.
Ronaldo.
I liked him.
Yeah, I liked him when he was here.
Yeah, he's over at Columbus?
No, yeah, he's a different league now. Yeah. So that's my take. So we obviously grew a discussion. So let's let the boys come back on.
Oh yeah,
and let you guys now pick your four, and you guys have to. Jake, do you want to come on and talk with it? All right, absolutely, guys, enjoy. And real quick, we want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors at the Talkin'215. We're going to give a shout out to Sharky's Grill and Ale House. Some long time, great people. Love them over there. Make sure you go see them at Sharky Grill and Ale House on State Road. And we also have the Morel Tavern, the Mo in Northeast Philadelphia. Love them to pieces. Make sure you go out there. Any Northeast cat knows where the Mo is. Special shout out also to another one of our sponsors, our good friend. Totally lost my train of thought on that one, but my good friend Bob, public adjuster. Nobody does it like Jake, but we'll have to give him a shout out as well. We'll make sure we plug him as well. So we're gonna have the Philly podcast come on as well with special guests from Old City Sports Network, Rumbling, Fumbling Live, and you're also part of Flyers Alley as well. So we're gonna have a little mix of some kind of. We're gonna keep this conversation going because I think it's a real good debate. Let them take the lead here. I'm gonna make calls.
All right, so I'm back, Chris from the Diamond Club, CEV, and Tendies on Patterson. I'm here with Jake from Old City Sports. So give yourself your plug. I gave mine.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Jake. I'm with Rumble Fumble Live, part of Old City Sports Network. We're on Instagram at Rumble_Fumble_Live and Twitter Rumble_Fumble. And that's it for Twitter. I'm also on Flyers Alley, so look for us on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you find your podcast. So give us a shout and a look at oldcitysports.com.
So they were having a conversation about, I guess, former Philadelphia players who are the most hated in their mind. And obviously started with the Ben Simmons talk. Yeah. So we'll go with NBA. For you, for NBA, is it Ben Simmons?
Yeah, but if I had to
it's an easy one now, but before Ben Simmons, who?
I would have to say either Bynum or probably Iguodala. Iguodala, kind of wasn't his fault that he was forced to be the star when he was just a role player, as you've seen that when he went to other teams and won a Finals MVP as a role player, which there's debates that he could be a Hall of Famer. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I don't think he is, but
Andre Iguodala is not a Hall of Famer.
Nah, he's got
the one. Yeah. He's right, and there's nothing wrong. And again, when I reiterated earlier about Tarius, utility guys, it's what they're good for. Exactly. and Andre Iguodala is he's a good sixth man. And you're right. They tried to make him the next AI.
Yep. Exactly.
He hit those two shots in the playoffs against, a Derrick Rose injury Bulls and led them to victory. I still remember watching it on Easter Sunday. And, so obviously we're talking about most hated athletes, and Ben Simmons comes.
That's a good one.
We got, Ben Simmons, which is the easiest choice, but, I'm going to piggyback off of Jake. I hate Andrew Bynum with a passion. I would punch him in his stupid knees if I saw him in his face, if I ever saw him.
I actually have a story. I seen him before he came to the Sixers.
So he's going out and he's bowling. He's getting paid all this money from the Sixers to not play, but he can throw a bowling ball. I drop one right on his foot.
Yep. Yeah. stealing money from any of my Philadelphia teams, it just leads to me hating you 100%, no matter what.
So and then all right, so we both agree that Andrew Bynum and Ben Simmons will be 1 and 2. It can be a tie. You can go back and forth. You know, you have your reasons. At least Ben Simmons produced here. You know, he just turned into the number one villain in 4 months. I've never seen something like that. I've never seen anything like it. I'm actually impressed about how evil he is, quote unquote, how much of a villain he is. So we'll go to the Phillies. So someone threw out Curt Schilling. I don't know about Curt Schilling. I mean, I can understand why they put it out there with the '93 season, and you know his antics, putting the pillow or the towel over his head. No, I can't go with Curt Schilling. Well, who do you got?
I don't hate him now, but at the time I hated him, and I was younger, so I didn't know much what was going on. But I would say Jason Worth, after he left us, just switched from like a god to a villain to that someone we hated. But you can't blame the guy. I mean, they offered him way too much money, more than what he was worth.
Right.
No pun intended. You know?
Right. He got $126 million guaranteed.
Exactly.
Like that's.
So now I look back on it, I'm like, why did I hate this guy? Because I remember, you know, I look at my time hopping, I see statuses about it, and it's like, fuck you, Earth, and it's just like,
right, but you know, you weren't the only Philadelphia. We were all hurt, and you know, the Phillies screwed up because they went out and they signed pitching, and they didn't have anybody to protect Ryan Howard, and that was the downfall of Ryan Howard's career. And unfortunately, you know, with the shift and everything else, he never fought back from it.
Yep.
But for me, I don't. It's not anybody I really hate. You know, Phillies wise.
Scott Rowland, not Aaron Rowan. Scott Rowland.
That was just
I figured it out. It hit me.
Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland. I swear, we must be like, we should definitely share a Phillies break.
I was like, wait. I was like, it's not Aaron Rowan, it's Scott Rowland. I was like, I had the names mixed up.
It's funny. Me and Jake apparently agree a lot on baseball, but Scott Rowland, the way he conducted himself towards, you know, the end of his Phillies tenure, you know, like, no, dude, you're playing baseball here. Oh, you're not gonna play? All right. And then they traded him, and they did all right in the trade, but no, I was never a fan of Scott Rowland after that. And if I had to pick a Philly that I strongly dislike, it's absolutely him.
Yeah,
you know, there's no close second. You know, the Billy Wagner one, I get it, but again, I also look at, again, he's a closer. He's psychotic. You have to be in that role. You have to be able to be like, whatever, and that's why I love Papelbon.
Yeah. My full blown hatred, because Worth, like I said, I look back on it and I'm like, all right,
absolutely,
I was the idiot. He was smart, taking the money and running. So
it took. Listen, I was with you. It took me like 3 years to be like, all right, dude.
No doubt.
And like, again, that was what, 2011.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. I was 33 years old, so it still hurt.
Yeah, and now he gets one of the biggest ovations when he comes back for all the 2008, 2010.
Without him, they don't win no series.
No, not at all.
People can try and argue, but they'll be wrong.
Yeah, but my biggest hatred is probably Snake Arrieta. That guy, I mean, everywhere he goes, he's just an a-hole. I mean, the whole thing with the mask with the reporter and the Cubs that led to his release. Then he goes to the Padres and he gets cut over Vinny V. I mean, if that doesn't humble you,
for Jake
nothing's going to humble you. So the guy needs to shut the hell up.
Yeah, Jake Arrieta is a good one. You know, he had his issues. You know, we loved the signing, the first one, and we're like, oh. And then it just
$25 million a year to give up 5 runs in the first 3 innings.
I know for a fact I can do that. I'll do it for $5 million. I won't do it for 25. I'll do it for 5. All right, so we'll go with leading that. We'll go into the Eagles. We'll save the Flyers for last.
I'm having a tough time with the Eagles.
You know what?
I don't hate many players on the Eagles.
All right,
I love them.
I'm going to give you one, and I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Everybody did when it happened. But your thoughts on Terrell Owens when that situation happened? What were your feelings? I don't know how old. I'm 43 years old, so I was 27 when it happened, and I was like 29. I'm sorry, because it was later. And then the push-ups in the alley and everything else, like, and then like when you come to realize that Terrell Owens is 100% right. It just goes to show you how crazy and the loose cannon that Donovan McNabb was.
Yeah. And at the time, I thought it was T.O.'s fault because
Absolutely.
he's the new guy. McNabb's been there. You know, he's gone through the grind with this team. Hugh Douglas, who was one of my favorite Eagles of all time, he went after T.O., so that was a big reason why.
He was an ambassador, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the team. He was the ambassador, right?
No, he was
on the team?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was his final year.
Okay.
Because I know he left and then came back for a stint.
Right.
But,
He went to Jacksonville, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. But yeah, apparently there's rumors that he went after T.O. in the hot tub or whatever. And at that point, I was like, yeah, so it's T.O.'s fault. And now looking back on it, it's just McNabb hated that he was booed, so his ego always got in the way, and he always wanted to be the guy. And when T.O. was getting his shine, T.O. All those chants drove him absolutely nuts.
You hit it right on the head. He could not handle how big Terrell Owens got in one season. He never got over 50 idiots going up there and booing him in New York.
No.
And I know they're millionaires and this and that, and I know people say, well, he's got to get over it. But he's still a human being, but it's also 20 years later.
Exactly.
Like let it go. Like we don't boo you no more. I'm just not going to serve you a beer because you're definitely not taking an Uber home.
Exactly.
So,
I'll take a beer any time of day.
Yeah,
so.
any time of day, and he'll drive.
He was right on Wentz though. I always kept calling him a hater, because Wentz is going to be better than you, all this, and yeah, no problem.
But, you know what? You're right. He was right, and because we were all just looking at it as like, nah, dude, he just hates. He doesn't want another quarterback to succeed. And you know what? In my mind, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you want to be the number one quarterback for the franchise you played with.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. He could have worded it maybe a little differently.
Yeah.
But because everyone's so sensitive these days, unfortunately, and I get
100%,
it. But so for me, again, there's not many people that I can sit there and go back and say I hate on the Eagles. But I'm going to piggyback off of Talkin' 215 and say Jason Babin. That guy was a douche.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way to put it.
He definitely was, but I think Jim Washburn had a lot to do with that as well. So
absolutely, he gave him the ego.
Another a-hole that you could say if we're not going players, but if you go coaching, go. Oh well, if that's the case, I'm going to tell you exactly why I hate Chip Kelly with a passion. I hate that dude. Dude, he sold me. He traded Nick Foles after a 27-2 season. I was like, I'm all in, and you got Sam Bradford with no knees. Yep. But the thing is, though, we wouldn't have gotten Wentz. We would not probably have that Super Bowl.
No, you're right.
Chip Kelly has a part of that because he gave us a lot of draft capital that Howie turned into Carson Wentz, which led to the Super Bowl run.
He did do that. And, you look at 2013 Nick Foles, and you look at the NFC Championship game Nick Foles, and you look at the Super Bowl Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2013 Nick Foles, and that's all Chip Kelly's coaching. Doug Peterson rolled with it, and I love it. So
Frank Reich,
but Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator, but I still hate him.
Yeah.
If he's probably if I had to pick between him and Babin, I'm going Chip Kelly because he made me look like a fool. I was like, let's go, Chip. I'm on. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I was at the Washington game, opening Monday night game down in Washington.
Oh my God, that was a great game.
Ran them out. I mean, they almost blew it in the end because I think they tired themselves out.
Absolutely.
But we were like, holy shit, we never seen anything like this before. We're gonna roll through everyone.
And
it
took the league a year to catch up.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
And then he goes and overpays DeMarco Murray, which was just an awful signing.
Yeah, and then I don't know if anyone remembers DeMarco Murray sliding.
Yeah. Yep.
Not going out of bounds.
First down. Yeah.
Slides.
Yep.
No, go out of bounds. I respect running backs who go out of bounds more than I did like sliding. That made no sense of sliding. You're a running back. You touch the ball. You should touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. And like I said, you were talking earlier over there about Miles Sanders. He should average 20 touches a game. He averages 20 touches a game. That'll take the pressure off of Hurts because like you said, Hurts has that one look.
Yep.
And then if it's not there, we don't know what we have. his arm strength, lacked what Wentz had. Obviously, we saw
that
his
deep
pass
ball
was almost intercepted.
Terrible.
So but they got to look at the game tape. Like, all right, well, listen, unless he's got Smith or Watkins beat one-on-one, throwing it to the middle of the field isn't going to work.
No.
But we'll go back. We'll touch on that later on in our segments. We'll talk a little Dallas week, but now we're going to go with the Flyers and the most hated Flyer that you can think of. I really can't think of any.
Yeah, I think the Flyers are so beloved in the city that it's hard to think of someone that you absolutely hate it. That's not on a Flyer. I mean,
but you have JBR for your that's for your personal reason. We're gonna go with play because I don't really have one because there wasn't really anybody who was.
How about Jeff Carter for missing a wide open net
in overtime and
banging guys' wives to ruin the locker room?
Wait, well, hold on.
Late Mike Richards. I'll tell you, Mike Richards is probably one of the best captains the Flyers ever had.
Listen, I'm gonna agree with Frankie and that, write that down. Mike Richards was hands down one of the best captains we've had. Yeah. When that game 5, we were down 1-0 and the shift happened, you could hear the entire, you could hear the entire Northeast just cheer because that's where I live, obviously. And, so I'm going to go like Mike Richards for hatreds. There isn't anybody. I can't think of anybody. And that's crazy when you think about the athletes that have come through the city who have played for the Philadelphia Flyers. You want to talk about, we're going to do what?
$5, drop it down. Whoever beats Jake takes the pot and keeps reloading, and you also win a fabulous prize. You get a ticket for a fabulous prize.
What? And I don't golf. Just
listen to the man. I've learned to never argue with him.
Oh, listen. I will argue with Frankie all the time. Mark Zumoff. What was the debate? I don't remember. You were. He was. Tobias Harris made Mark Zumoff retire. That's how frustrated he was with him. But yeah, unfortunately, and that's. And by the way, I don't how we can't come up with a Flyer that we don't like.
I would say Jeff Carter, just for missing that net, and
and then they went on a 5-3. I think, and then Pittsburgh went on a 5-3, right, in that overtime game.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it was the Blackhawks game in the Cup. He missed an open net.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I would have taken the lead. I was in the building. It was one of the worst nights. One of the best nights and worst nights. I was at Game 6 of a Stanley Cup. So, I mean, not many people get to say that.
Wait, you got to see the Cup?
I left.
You left?
I wasn't watching someone else carry the cup on my ice.
I get it.
I was not doing that. But we were.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It was cool. We were in a club box with Brian Prop. He let us eat on his tab. I just got popcorn. We were calling it Propcorn. So it was really cool. But, yeah, seeing him miss that net and then the way we lost it in overtime, as soon as they confirmed the goal, me and my dad were like, we're out of here. We're not watching someone play.
I was at home. I watched the goal go in. It was me and my wife. I got up. I turned the TV off. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, he didn't miss. She's like, that didn't go in. I said, well, Patrick Kane's not stripping because he missed the goddamn net. Yeah. That's it. Him and Michael Layton are the only two people in the building who know it went in. Because the rest are like, and then I still remember the text. My buddy, either Layton's legs both broke at the same time or that puck went into the net because the way he just dropped to the ice was ridiculous.
Because Layton had such a strong run that year.
Yeah, he did.
That helped carry us.
I mean, you got to remember.
And then to lose that way.
You got to remember, Brian Boucher got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Layton stepped up and
didn't miss a beat.
They were just so like they were. That was the epitome of a team sport. Like if you want to talk about a team atmosphere, that was.
Yep. It was such a fun playoff
with the Scott Hartnells, with the Claude Giroux game 3 goal, which I still don't know how it wasn't like people thought he was offsides or he was coming or the stick was too high. I forget, but I'm like, just No, enjoy it while you can.
Yep.
And that stupid goal song by Chicago. Da, 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 da. I hate it. And then didn't Ben Eager score for the Blackhawks in Game 2? We gotta look that up.
Yeah.
He ex-Philadelphia Flyers scored the game winner for the Blackhawks
I'm
in
almost
Game 2.
positive he did.
Which I'm mad that I know that because I watched every game. I want to say it was Ben Eager.
How do you spell his last name?
Eager. So with that, we gave our top hated athletes who played for our teams. Catch me on the Diamond Club podcast on the Philly Sports Alliance. I'll be on CEV Sports soon. I might be on tomorrow with British fans from the NFL at 10 a.m. because they're 5 hours ahead of us. And then I'll eventually be doing my Sixers and my Flyers show soon. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Jake so he can do his plug. And then, like I said, come down to the old Philadelphia bar. Come help a business. We got some good raffles, flyer stuff, Monkey's Uncle stuff, candles, beer. They're serving pork sliders, which are very good. I've had 2 of them. I'm about to order another 2. Frankie's walking around with a golf putter in his hand about to hit someone like he's Casey Jones from the Turtles. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jake. Jake, give your plug. And then me and Jake are going to come back on, and we're going to talk some Dallas week.
Let's go. Check out oldcitysports.com. That's the network that I'm on, doing Rumble Fumble Live. As you see, we'll be going live tomorrow night, 7:30. A nice pre-show before the Sunday night football game. So check us out then on Facebook. I'm also on Flyers Alley. Give us a look on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. So definitely check us out. We have a good time, some good hosts, and look forward to chatting with everyone later.
He's a Twitcher. He's a Twitcher. I don't know what a Twitcher is, but he's on Twitch. All right, guys, thanks. We're going to turn it over back to Talkin'215. He's walking around trying to sell some raffle tickets. Come on down, have some beer, 50 cents off drafts. Pork sliders are good. Buckets are down here. Come down and drink.
It's funny, you say something and he's so soft. What do you do to figure it out? Figure out the.
Put them all in one. You can mix them all up. Yeah, there's stuff.
I need my seats up for a game. Actually, pregame. Yeah. No, seriously, any stuff you can do. Talk about backstage.
Samantha is she was a journalist with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. She's also worked for Sam